As far as the way you're being used, when we first spoke to you, you said you'll kind of see week one, right? Or I guess you'll see it, that the media will see week one. You have a better sense of where you fit, how you'll be used in this defense?
Yes, I do. But we not going to talk about it. We still going over the game plan and stuff for Detroit. So I'll wait till we get back after this weekend, see what JG has up, what he wants in. I'm gonna take that and see what he wants me to do and go ahead from there.
Now, do you think it's been tailored to your skill set?
Most definitely, yes.
JG says he likes to talk to his players about what you're comfortable doing. Do you have those kind of conversations with him?
Every day. Every day if we put something new in, if it's something for me, and he wants to see how comfortable I am with it, he asks me every time. And it's a wonderful thing. I always give my input, tell him if I like it or not, and then he takes that information and do as he pleases. Most likely won't put it in, but I haven't been having that problem. Everything seems good. So, like I said, just waiting to see what the game plan is once we get back, and then taking it to the field.
Imagine if it's you. Experience with past defensive coordinators, or is that new here?
Sometimes. Not. I want to say maybe my last 2 years, not earlier in my career, being a young guy, not especially playing inside linebacker, not playing a lot of ball. But now that I'm on the edge, I've had some success. I showed that I'm a rising star in this league, and these guys, all the coaches since I've been here, there's only one goal they have so far, and that's just making sure their players are comfortable.
If the 2020 season, if that did not happen, like if you didn't get moved from inside linebacker, where do you think your career would be right now?
Man, it's crazy. I think about it all the time, man. I remember having a conversation with my dad before, I was making the decision whether or not I wanted to go back to the edge or not. And I remember telling him, I feel like if I don't do this, I feel like if I don't ask them to put me back, that after this is either no more football, no more NFL for me, or I'll be just a special teamer, somebody that's looked at as a special teamer.
So it was your decision back then, or was it? I thought it was a kind of a circumstance situation. In Arizona.
No, I had the circumstance. No, I asked him to be moved back. The circumstance was that I wasn't starting at first, and then Chandler Jones went down, and then that's when I started getting more reps and more playing time. But I initially asked to be moved back to the edge.
Did you miss it playing out there?
What you mean?
Did you miss playing the edge?
Hell yeah. That's an easy question. Hell yeah, man. It's just people. I don't think anybody understands, man. My first 3 years, even at inside linebacker, I don't even think it was a case that I couldn't do it. It was just the fact, man. My first 3 years, I had 3 different DCs, 3 different coaches. 3 different DCs, 3 different schemes, man. Being asked to do different things within those schemes. So constantly, every year, it's like, okay, I'm in this defense for a year. Next year, new DC. Got to learn everything over again. New coaches coming in, they asking me to do a different technique than what I was doing last year. I never really got the chance to develop. And the one time that I was able to be in the same defense, I switched my positions.
When you get a sack and you beat a tackle versus, let's say, when something's schemed up for you, do you have a preference for that, or are all sacks created equal?
It's all the same. You feel me? Just because something is schemed up for you doesn't mean you're going to make the play. You still have to take the details of it. You still got to go out there. You still got to beat your man. So it is wonderful when things are schemed up. But that is no guarantee that just because it's schemed up for you, that play is going to hit for you. You know what I'm saying? There's 11 other guys out on the field. As far as defense, then you got offense. You can't always predict what the offense is going to do, even if you're trying to scheme them up. So it's just one of those things, like I said, it's about still taking it, going out there, and still beating the man in front of you.
What's the lesson that the football world can take from your story, from taking a 10-sack guy at Temple and moving him to inside linebacker because of his size?
Man, I just never give up, man. And it's so Philadelphia when you think about it, right? Like underdog story, being overlooked, just having grit, continue to push through all the ups and downs, And earlier I had way more downs than I did ups. So just trying to keep my mental confidence, reminding myself that I was still that guy, that I'm still a great player, even if it wasn't shown, even if people were saying otherwise. But just grinding every day, keeping your head down, grinding, continue to push, and just waiting for things to get better, waiting to come out on top on the other side.
What about your skill set that you think translates?
Different schemes all the time. How do you think that contributed?
Say that one more time, please.
When you were talking before about having different coaches, different schemes all the time, John Gannon's talked about how versatile you are as a player. Do you feel like those two things are connected at all, the lessons you learned?
That's probably the only good that did come out of that for me was the fact that I understood coverage better. I understood what other people around me were doing. You know, I understood it. Honestly, I understood defensive line and edge rushing from a different perspective just by playing inside linebacker. So I will say I did gain some intelligence out of it. Just having downsides with, like I said, constantly being in different systems. You know, but it is what it is.
What about your skill set that translates probably better on the edge than inside linebacker? Is it just familiarity, having played that edge, you know, your whole career?
Feel like I'm a very like my instincts, my reactions, they take over better on the edge. It's not as much thinking as inside linebacker. Inside linebacker, man, I was just having this conversation the other day with the inside linebackers. Actually, it's just crazy how alignment, being in the wrong alignment, to the slightest degree, being in the wrong alignment, how you could already be behind on the play. If your key is not right, if you don't see a pulling guard, if you don't see the tight end slicing back across the formation, how that can put you behind a play, or you know, how that could simply just get you out of your gap or take you out of the whole play completely. Where on the edge, it's not really like that. On the edge, I'm only reading pass or run block. You see what I'm saying? I'm only reading pass and run block. I don't really have to worry about fitting inside of the gap all of the time. I'm mostly on the edge, and then I just get to react to whatever my eyes see. Whatever I see, I get to react to it, which is a little bit different than trying to read guard center guard for pullers and having to realize what the whole formation is. Even though I still do these things, right? And it's kind of been trained. And programmed into me, but my keys and what I see is just different, and I can just react better and faster.
How excited were you for it?
How much do you then respect the guys who can do that, the guys who can succeed?
Man, I respect the hell out of them. Honestly, I think inside linebacker, corner is a tough job. Especially with a lot of the wide receivers in this league today. But just to be asked to read, run, and pass every play, you know, have to get down there and get physical every play, man. I think inside linebacker is if not one of the toughest jobs in the NFL.
How excited were you for Kyron once you found out he was going to be on the 53, and what did you see from him throughout training camp?
Man, I pretty much knew he was. Man, Kai is explosive. Amazing takeoff and get off when he's getting off the ball. Young guy, high energy, enthusiastic. So I knew he was going to make the team. I seen it work. I seen how he take notes. You know, coach asking him questions, Wash asking him questions, how he can, how he can give back the information from a standpoint of knowing what he's supposed to do. Like I said, he's a hard worker and his energy is high. One thing about Kai, man, you always see him running to the ball, and with the speed that he has. It's amazing. So I knew that he was going to make the team. Now it's about getting into the season and continue to build and progress on what he's done already during OTAs and training camp.
The conversation that you had in Arizona to move back out to the edge, who was that with? What do you remember about it?
I just asked my position coach. I went to him first, asked him how he felt about it, and then I went and asked Vance, ultimately because it was his defense. And asking him to put me back on the edge. My fifth-year option was declined at the time already, so it was nobody really had anything to lose, right? If for Arizona, if I didn't pan out, they planned on letting me go anyway. And for me, it was just a simple fact of if this would be my last year in the NFL, at least I get to do it the way I want to do it.